Now, isn't it true that the reason Chrysler put the gas tank forward of the rear axle was to keep it from getting crushed in rear impact?
That is not the case.
Well, isn't the reason that you put a gas tank forward of the rear axle to give it protection from rear impact?
No.
Well, let me show you Plans Exhibit number 93. This is a vehicle brochure for the 1999 Ram cargo van. Is that correct?
It appears so.
That'd be a Dodge product, right? And Dodge is a Chrysler brand, isn't it?
That is correct.
Now turn with me, please, to the third page in this Chrysler brochure. You just passed it. Go back one, right there.
Okay.
Now this says at the sixth line from the bottom, right next to the van's tire, that, quote, a no-rust polyethylene fuel tank is mounted ahead of the rear axle. Did I read that correctly?
Correct.
And the reason that Chrysler mounted the gas tank there was to give it protection in rear impact. Isn't that true?
That is not true.
Well, turn with me, please, to the page marked 8. You'll find that page number in the bottom left corner of the page. And read with me as I read this part on the left side of the page about halfway up. Doesn't it say, quote, midship, end quote, fuel tank is mounted ahead of the rear axle for protection, end quote. Did I read that correctly?
You did.
Now, isn't it true that in a four-door Jeep, where people might put their families, having a safe gas tank is even more important than it is in a cargo van, like the one depicted in the brochure we were just looking at?
Objective form.
The brochure, I'm not sure of the sales brochure and the originator of it, but I was involved in this fuel system, and it had to do with the overall vehicle package, spare tire, and mounting equipment. So I'm not sure where this statement, midship,
I move to strike as non-responsive,
protection,
as not one of those words had anything to do with the question that I asked you. The question is, don't you agree that in a four-door vehicle like a Jeep Grand Cherokee, where people might put their families, having a safe gas tank location is even more important than it is in a, quote, cargo van, end quote?
Objective form.
I think a location alone is not necessarily a parameter to have a safe vehicle or a safe fuel system, and
Isn't it true,
it's just
sir?
as important to have a safe van as it is to have a safe Grand Cherokee.
Will you not agree that in a vehicle where people put their families, safety is even more important than it is in a cargo van?
Objective form.
No,